I ended up in finishing high school. I was the valedictorian of the class. I knew that I had missed much. I didn't know. I didn't have the opportunity there. But listening to my parents, I could not stop there. My parents were saying, go on, you can make it. And so I went on, I entered Johnson C. Smith University. And there, by the grace of God, at that black college, Presbyterian college, I had to struggle. I knew I would have to struggle. Almost flunked out the first semester. But after making it past the first semester, I say to you, young people, there is a link between high school and college. You go there prepared to study not to party, to study, and you can make it. And so by the grace of God, I made it through the first semester, though there were some others from my county who were there who didn't make it. But I knew if I lived right, if I did the right thing, that somehow or another I would make it. I did graduate from college. I knew, as I had said to my parents, having been brought up in the church, having been involved in conventions and so forth for youth, I felt that God had called me to be a messenger for Him. And so that after finishing college, I went to Johnson C. Smith Theological Seminary, black. For that was the only Presbyterian seminary that I could attend. It was hard to get into, at that particular time, to get into Princeton or to McCormick or Pittsburgh or Columbia Seminary, no. But there we were prepared for the ministry. I was blessed that the teachers, both in college and seminary, understood my situation, because they had been where I was. They knew, and so they helped along the way. When I finished there, my older brother, who was also a minister, decided to go back and get another master's degree in counseling. And so from there I went to Temple University in Charlotte, in Philadelphia, Cornwall Theological Seminary. I got another degree. And from there I thought it was time to go to work. So I had to get a job. And my father said to me, do not get married before you finish and get a job. I took heed to that. And so after finishing, getting another master's at Temple University, there was a young lady I met in church, the church that I was attending. And I proposed to her after I had gotten a job here in Detroit at St. John's Presbyterian Church as the director of the neighborhood house. And I asked my wife if she would marry me, this young lady. And she said, yes. Would you stand up, dear? She has a little problem standing up. But that's my bride. That's my bride of 53 and a half years. God blessed me with a wife, one who could help me. After leaving, working at the neighborhood house as director, I might say that when I went there, I was hired as director of that neighborhood house. And there was another gentleman, young man, who was hired as director of the Del Rey Community Neighborhood, Christian Neighborhood House. Both of us were hired for similar jobs. I was offered $500. I was given $500 less than that gentleman because I'm sure of my color. I found that there was racism everywhere, even in the North. I could not escape it. I left that. I was asked to serve on a new research staff of the Presbytery of Detroit, and there was a staff of 5 of us. I was the only black one. And we worked because many of our churches were moving out of the city because after they built the freeways, it was easy to get back and forth. And so we worked with the churches in the city. Because in 1958, when we had the merger of the Presbyterian Church USA and the Presbyterian Church of North America, there were 40 churches in the Presbyterian churches in the city of Detroit. Most of those churches closed or moved out. Now we have about 13 or 14 in the city of Detroit. Something has happened. I think we know what it is. We have to keep fighting to get into the promised land. I'm not just saying to blacks, but all of us, a better life together, where we all can live together in peace. I made the study of the Broad Street community, a church that was about to close, or did close, as to the possibility of starting a new work. And I went there to start another church in 1961 of June.